Hi folks. Hobbies as a way of self-realization for women. Modern women have an increasing interest in self-realization. It plays an important role in a woman's life. In fact, it determines her life path. This is first of all we discover certain abilities that give direction to the development of their talents and plans for their future.
Hello folks, and who self-actualize contribute to life. They enrich their lives not only by using their professional abilities, but also by being able to establish relationship with other peoples and making fruitful contacts with them.
Choose a hobby that makes you happy, and any achievement in your pastime will be fun. The answer to the questions how to find a hobby for women will be one word: easy. The main thing to remember is that no matter how people look at you, it only concerns you.
Passion and hobby should please the soul, like it to you, and not connected with any honest opinion and evaluation. A hobby is usually defined as any enjoyable activity that we perform voluntarily and consistently when we are free from the demands of work on other responsibilities.
A hobby may be inspired by interest, but it usually requires more commitment and involves taking measures such as learning a new skill. A hobby is, in fact, an activity pursuit of personal interest.
The idea is to find an activity that you will enjoy, even if it takes a little work to master. This may seem strange at first, but improvement over time can bring benefits.
Take a class or lessons. If something piqued your childhood interest, look for a class to learn more about it. A cooking lessons, a computer decision lessons, a drawing lesson with friends, a do-yourself pottery shop, a ballet dance lessons. We can help you find out where your hobbies live. Consider everyday activities as a potential hobby.
Neither work helps a woman stop. Just be, just live. Without analysis, without actions, when we do needlework, we tell our body that everything is fine. There is enough time. There is no need to run anywhere, and there is no one safe. All is well and all is calm.
Needwork helps us feel grounded, feel yourself here and now. Here is our home. Here are our hands, and they create something beautiful. Needlework activities relight Hampshire of the brain, creative, non-standard thinking, and develops artistic taste. You learn to combine colors, textures, and materials. After preparing the materials and choosing the manufacturing technique, you start creating the item.
This process allows you to get away from all the problems Metaxnis actions plunge Weymouth into a light trance. In this state, the brain switches to a different operating mode. The body accumulates energy. This subconscious begins to work more actively. When the creative process is finished, you get pleasure from creating an item with your own hands.
Moving into the development of new hobby, you need to understand where it is suitable. You need to try. Patience is necessary and interesting.
Craft-based hobbies can be started for very little money. If you try to draw it, but you don't like it, you can always switch to other craft, such as knitting. Give yourself time to explore the options and see what really interests you. Go in search of inspiration. Sometimes it takes you a few extra steps literally to discover important hobby.
Just throwing through a class story among chalk, paint, paper, and trinkets can remind you of an old passion or fun craft you were always wanted to try. Sometimes just enjoying a new experience can trigger interest in a hobby.
And visit to an gallery museum can remind you that you had always wanted to draw or learn how to sculpt ceramics. Attending a concert may make you interested in learning to play the cello. After a while, you can look forward to your crafting and feel better overall.
Look at your childhood. One of the first places to look for inspiration when looking for a hobby is to study your childhood hobby. Think about what made you happy as a child.
Did you take lessons in dance, music, skating, or the art? Did you play sports? Did you like to painting, drawing, play, participate in the theater or write poetry? All these children's activities can be turned into other hobbies.
Here are a few hobbies to start with. It is important to spend time studying hobbies, as you can easily cope with yourself. Explore one at a time until you are ready to understand what you like.
Maintaining a daily long knitting, quilting, crocheting, and cross-stitching are classic choices. You can usually discover the potential of a seamstress, learn how to embroider pictures, create collages from photos, or do scrapbooking. You can study painting or ceramics.
Jewelry making can be an attractive choice. Gardening, flowers can do hand in hand as well as nature photography. How easy it's to please your loved ones with an exclusive item with well initials embroidered by you yourself. Very well any shells brought from the sea. Decorate the mirror with them, making a unique frame worthy of the old book. It is easy to give it a modern look with fashionable stripes, straps and virtues.
Cooking, you step a lot of time preparing food for your family. Perhaps you should reconsider your interest in cooking and eating as a hobby. Think about devoting some free time to fun cooking moments. Perhaps you like to collect dishes or unusual culinary devices.
Take some cooking lessons. Have you always loved baking? Looking for volunteer work? How about taking your culinary talent to a soup kitchen or another organization that fits people who need it? Some parents even turned the hard work of preparing school lunch into a fun Instagram contest.
Enhance the experience. Having a plan for organize your hobby is an integral part of the process. If you decide to take up a creative hobby, make a plan of what to do with your main challenges. Steffi Al Emu Mary by document each creation with a photo. Then select the best projects best you want to lift or give it to friends and sort out the rest.
You can increase the entire crafting experience starting with the choice of material. For example, choosing iron for knitting project can be enjoyable. Focus on how the different options feel in your hand. Look at the colors and notice which one really attracts attention. Study the patterns and imagine how you would feel if you were given it as a gift. Or imagine how you will enjoy it personally after it is completed.
Tips for finding time for a hobby. Conduct your own personal time. Using research to examine your interests more closely. Start small, carve out less half an hour a day, and so you will notice how routine things will begin to be done faster and with more pleasure. And all because you will have an intensive to complete them faster and to something that brings joy.
To get started, figure out your type if you are an owl. Then pay attention to your favorite activity in the evening, but always set a strict limit so that there is enough time to sleep. Legs who wake up at the crack of dawn and while away precious morning minutes of meaningless laying in bed or watching reruns of a TV show. It is recommended to devote the early morning to their favorite things.
This will lift you mood and recharge you with positive energy for the whole day. Some hobbies are quite possible to engage in public transport, and if a hobby requires home equipment, take the subway or bus. It will be quite convenient to study theory. How do you like to spend time?
Do you spend a lot of time reading books, cooking, spending time in the fresh air, shopping for clothes, watching old movies, playing with your dog? All these activities contain clues to the potential user of time. Make it part of a large plan. Integrate your craft and find out how your new hobby can become the driving force of your life. Over time, you may be pleasantly surprised by your results. At all times, things made by hands very valued. This is not only practical but also unique. It's all just your imagination. It is better to have only one hobby all at master level than to engage in multiple hobbies. A hobby, by definition, is something you do for yourself, for fun. While you might want to try a few new things early on, reduce them to one or two when you can pursue with patience. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.